Hello everyone, it's Christine here and we are back for the stitch along and we're going to be moving on to fishbone stitch. So we'll do regular fishbone today and then fishbone stitch raised tomorrow. So I've drawn myself a little leaf with the outer and with a central vein with my friction marker. And what I'm going to do is just pop my needle through just slightly down from the tip of one end of the leaf. So I've got a knot tied in the end of my thread. I've got a relatively thick perlé, and then I'm going to go to the very tip and pop my needle in and then just pop it out slightly down from the tip, just a tiny bit. The distance you need here will depend on the thread that you're using. And I'm going to keep my thread to the right while I'm pulling this through. And then I'm going to take and keep my thread to the left now, and I'm going to pop my needle in just below where that first stitch is and then pop it out just at the border of that first stitch. And that's going to give us our first little fishbone, and then I'm going to go over to the other side, keeping my thread to the right this time, so always keeping your thread to the opposite side from where you're putting your stitch in. And so I'm going to pop my needle in at the central vein and out at the outer edge of the leaf. And so that's going to lay down another little fishbone stitch. I'll show you in a few moments how they look once we've got a few more on. So keeping my thread to the left and doing my stitch to the right from the vein out to the outer. And then coming over to the other side, going in at the vein, popping out at the outer point of the leaf, always just laying that stitch down next to the previous stitch and always working on the opposite side from where you just did it. So you're always working to the opposite side from where the thread is. And you're just popping in right next to where the previous stitch on that side was. So it's a really great stitch to use for leaves or feathers, wings. You can also use it for borders. So that's what it starts to look like, which is a lovely woven leaf effect. So I'll just keep going. Just always make sure you're popping out just next to your other stitch and just at the border. That's how you'll get a nice, neat border and not have any gaps where the fabric shows through. This one is definitely easier not to do in a hoop. It's easier to manipulate the fabric where you want it to be. Now, if you had quite a curve, you'd want to be decreasing the distance between the stitches on the inside of the curve and increasing the distance on the outside of the curve. This doesn't have too much of a curve in it, so I don't think I'll have to do that much of that. But if you want a bit of extra challenge, you can have a play with drawing yourself quite a curvy shape and doing that. So increasing the distance on the outside of the curve and decreasing the distance on the inside of the curve. Oops, got a little knot, I think, somewhere here. What's happening here? I think I just need to trim my end. It's got a bit fluffy on me. So I'll just take that little end bit off. Travis is exhausted from the holiday. We're still on holidays when I'm filming this. You'll probably be watching this by the time that we're back in Melbourne. But I think he is absolutely exhausted from all the fresh air and walks and river swims and adventures. Went out to the Happy Valley pub or hotel today for a nice lunch. It's a dog-friendly place, so Travis came along, sat under the table. Sat out in their sort of patio area out the front. Had a beautiful chicken parmigiana. Always a good basic pub or hotel meal. But beautiful moist chicken. It was delicious. Be interesting to do this stitch with a variegated thread. Okay, almost at the end. It's always those last few tiny little stitches to finish off. Oops, I think I might have done that one a bit too far apart. Oops. Let's see if I can fix that now one. Then I might. It's hard when it's so small to get the final stitches in. Can't even see the central vein now, so I think we're on probably on the home stretch, and I might just put myself a nice little end of the leaf in, like a little bit of the branch perhaps. There we go. So that is a fishbone stitch, which is also very good for a leaf. Gives a lovely sort of central vein down the middle and gives that lovely dimensional leaf effect. So I hope you liked that one, and hopefully you'll give it a go and have a play around if you want to do it on a curve, and we will come back for raised fishbone stitch tomorrow. Thanks everyone. Bye.